and we begin to rock. Steady, steady rocking all night long, and we begin to rock. Steady, rocking till the break of dawn. Let's rock. Okay, I'm gonna get my lighting set. Here we go. Got that. Let's do blue. Okay, I want you to watch this video all the way through because I'm going to give facts first. It'll be very brief, and then I am going to discuss another subject that goes right along with it, and I'll give some lists that we'll pin to the comments. So let's get going with rockin'. Let's rock, okay? And we begin to rock. Steady, steady rocking all night long. Now, I know firsthand a problem with different currency rates. I had somebody from Canada order I believe it was a couple neck gaiters. Well, when I looked, I realized, oh my gosh, he's from Canada. So I couldn't do it. But my system on my website, they had charged him because he put in his bank card number and it went through. So it was up to me to fulfill that order. Well, there was a glitch because I had it set for only in the congruent states of the United States, because even if I would have mailed it to Hawaii or Alaska, and certainly any other nation, the shipping rate is phenomenal. Yeah, it's not worth it for me because I have free shipping. It wouldn't have been worth it whatsoever. So I had to refund his money and let him know that I do not ship outside of the United States. Well, I got a email from him about a month later. Wow, he was calling me a crook. He was saying that I'm dishonest and he was going to ruin my name. Yeah, this was, and he said that what happened was they charged him and they changed the rate at that time. But a month later, the currency exchange rate had changed. And he said he got gypped out of, I think it was like $3. So I had to do some, because I didn't understand it. So then ultimately I figured out, oh yeah, okay. So I let him know that what I did, because he was becoming so nasty about it. I mean, oh my gosh, he was freaked out. I remember I did put it on one of my videos. What I did was I sent him a $20 bill. I just sent him a $20 bill. I had his address and I said, here, we're even. I don't want to hear from you again. Don't order anything from me ever again. Yeah. Because he was quite, incensed over it, which, I mean, who wants to get gypped? I had everything set. So anyways, I don't know how that got through. And it was recently that somebody from the UK, their order went through and I had to refund the money, but I didn't hear from them. I hope that everything went okay with the exchange rate. So that actually is a good reason, I guess, for digital currency, for the IMF to be using that. But the countries that want to get involved with that would have to apply for that. So, but I do know that there is such a change, and it changes daily. It changes definitely monthly. Well, let's continue. Okay, let's get to it. The IMF had a meeting earlier this month discussing, in a broad sense, the central bank digital currency. I would call this the first step in testing the new digital currency for all of us. I think they want to test the waters and take the temperature on how it works between the banks. But isn't this how banks do it right now with the digital? They transfer money through computer systems, right? Here's a good reason why they want to do this. Essentially, trading this digital currency between countries using a universal monetary unit will eliminate money exchange rate problems. Now, this will be available only to those nations that are participating, right? It's up to the nations to join this new system. So they're going to be trading with digital currency to eliminate any exchange rate problems. So, is this a step toward a one world currency? Maybe. Universal monetary units, also known as Unicoin. This is what the IMF is naming it. Digital currency. What are the implications for you and me on this digital currency situation? First and foremost, the powers that be will know every transaction that you make. Oh my gosh. They can flip a switch on your account and turn you off from buying and selling if they don't like your politics or what you have or what you're spending your money on. And if it got really bad, they would be able to turn off your Social Security, your wages, your paycheck, and they will see all your contributions and spending and sending money to other individuals. And more implications could be a black market and the barter system. So I want to talk about the barter system and items that will be of value. This is the core of my video. Anything that affects the value of the dollar ends up affecting value of all other currencies around the world. We saw this in 2009 crash, right? Actually, the dollar is what is known as the world's reserve currency. A lot of that has to do with World War II. At the end of that war, the only country which was left standing financially was the United States. We rebuilt Europe and Japan, and to a large part, the aid we had given to the Soviet Union during the war managed to keep them afloat as well. But there was no contest for the strongest currency. The dollar won, hands down. Now, many have been speculating for the last few years that the value of the dollar will crash. When it does, the world will switch over to some other reserve currency, leaving the United States to make do as best we can. I know. High inflation will make that very difficult, bringing many industries to their knees, which will bring its citizens to their knees. So I wanted to share what's happening in the financial system. Now I want to discuss bartering and what items to stockpile for the days ahead. These are lists that are going to be very important. And this is a very important episode. And I guarantee more will be coming in the days ahead, as you've already seen. This affects house dwellers and nomads alike. It does. People will deal with this hyperinflation by returning to barter as a system of trade and to hide some of their doings, right? If the dollar can't hold its value, it will make much more sense to trade common goods, right? Bartering requires having something that will be valued by others. The idea is that you trade something that they perceive as being valuable for something that you perceive as valuable. Makes sense. The barter system. The key is to determine what sorts of goods will become valuable during an economic collapse. You have to realize value in such a time is measured differently than it is in normal times. Those things are needed for life. They will quickly become very valuable and stay valuable until they become commonplace once again. Now, the most valuable items in a time of crisis aren't actually the food and other things we need to survive. They are the things that people consume to cope with this horrible situation coming up, such as alcohol, cigarettes, and drugs. Sales of these items will increase in times of financial recession, hardship, and after a disaster. So basically, they need to feed their vices: alcohol, cigarettes, drugs, coffee, all kinds of things like that. Feed the body, canned goods of all types, meats, vegetables, and fruits like beans, rice, pasta, spaghetti sauce, peanut butter. Yeah, that would be a great comfort for kids. Jelly to go with the peanut butter, right? These are just a little bit of a list of things. Beef and turkey jerky, cooking oil, baking flour, sugar, honey, powdered milk, Nobody likes it, but it's needed for baking, right? Powdered milk. I do have some. Powdered eggs. Ditto for this one. It doesn't taste as good, but you kind of need it if you're going to bake. Now, non-food would be batteries, especially AA and AAA, which are commonly used for a wide variety of things. I like USB. Now, buy large packages and break them up to trade as individual units. Other people are going to need batteries, so that would be a good thing to have. Oh my gosh, toilet paper. This could become the coin of the realm during a collapse. We all know that, especially if it becomes hard to find. People might give a lot for a roll. Soap. While easy to make, few people know how to anymore. Soap is cheap and easy to trade. Toothpaste and toothbrushes. Oh yeah. These common items can become hard to find and they're easy to stash, a way to trade. Matches and lighters. Oh my gosh. Get a bunch of Bic lighters. They're so light and easy to store. And especially important if electrical power becomes unreliable. Now, fuel of any sort of fuel will become valuable, whether gasoline for the car or wood for the fire or, butane, propane. The biggest problem with most sorts of fuel will be in storing it. Now, as far as bartering goes and nomads, well, we can't really store a whole bunch of stuff for bartering, can we, in our vehicles? Unless you have a big Class A, because they have a lot of compartments down below. Right. I've seen how much room they have. But here's a thought. If you're going to stay in one area, or an area where you can get to easy, you might want to start storing those things and get a storage unit. And you could start storing things like alcohol. I mean, if you're tempted by cigarettes, you might not want to start storing cigarettes. But if you are not tempted by cigarettes whatsoever, it might be a cool thing to have. If we go to a digital currency, which it almost seems inevitable, people. I mean, if the BRICS do join together, more and more nations join with them to make the Chinese yuan the reserve currency of the globe. Well, I mean, and they want to make it a digital currency. That's hands down. They've already said that. It will be a digital currency. And it seems like if the IMF is moving and they're experimenting with digital currency, I mean, it seems almost inevitable, but there will be so many people that will be resisting it that I do believe bartering is going to, I believe bartering, we're going to see it in our lifetime. Now, I have a lot of people say, well, it could not happen. This isn't going to happen. I'm not sure why, but studies show that Americans do not ever believe that anything so horrible could happen in America. It's like we are immune to any total disaster. It's not really true. I'm sure the Romans thought that too, right? And I've also had a lot of people from previous videos, just recent ones, that I've been talking about what's coming down the pike and warning people and just giving you a heads up so that you can prepare. Say, well, what are we preparing for? What are you even talking about? And then another one, what was the most recent one, said, well, wouldn't it be better to stay in a house? Why are you telling us to get these things to put in our minivan so that we can take off in the city? Wouldn't it be better to stay in our houses? Let me just tell you this. If we go to a digital currency, if there's going to be bartering going on, there will be a lot of people losing their jobs. I'm serious. It's hyperinflation. Already we're seeing little gangs forming, crime gangs, just little ones, like 5 or 6 people working together to theft rings, right? Can you imagine what it's going to be like then? Well, if you think you're safe just in your home, and I'm not trying to scare people, well, maybe I am. I'm trying to scare you straight, scared straight. Remember those? Yeah. I'm trying to let you know that if you think you're safe in a home with all of your goods, unless you have a militia with weapons with guards and doing scouting and patrolling, you're not safe. The marauders will come, and the gangs won't be 5 or 6. They'll be 50 to 100 or more, like locusts moving through, grabbing what they want. I'm sure that would definitely be a shit hit the fan. If this really does come down, there'll be such a long period of adjustment that people are going to freak out. I'm telling you, if people don't get their medications, their antidepressants, and just think about like mental illness. Some of them, I believe for schizophrenia, a lot of them are still on lithium. What if they don't get their lithium? Oh my gosh. Yeah, you're going to have zombies walking around and doing whatever they want to do. You're going to have people that need a drug fix, and there's going to be bad people out there just giving them fentanyl and saying, here, take this. You could have people freaking out. You're going to have like the zombies, like monsters walking around. And then you're just going to have people who need a fix of alcohol. How many alcoholics do we have in this country? How many people are going to be like, rare, because they don't get nicotine? It's always a good idea to sell one cigarette at a time. Calm people down. Maybe have some alcohol stored in your storage unit. I'm just trying to paint a little bit of the worst case scenario, only because I want you to understand that it's not going to be a piece of cake. There's going to be a lot of adjustment periods, and the government knows this. There will be adjustment periods. So bartering for a while might be the way to go. And these are items, I'll leave them pinned in comments, some of the really cool items that you might want to store. That's bottom line. I want to keep you safe. I want to keep myself safe. I want to keep Paul safe. I want to keep my family safe, wherever they are. Now, some of you said, wouldn't it be better to just stay in one, to get out of the city? Well, that's not entirely true. I depend on the city. We haven't gone digital yet. I depend on a city because I need shade. It's going to get hot. I can't just be out in the desert with no shade. And I also need my cell coverage so that I can get out my videos to you people. Yeah. So I hope you're enjoying this series. I just want to give you a heads up. Okay. Well, if you have any questions, leave below. I need your comments. I need your opinions. I need your opinions on these things. My goal isn't whether this is going to happen or it's not going to happen, right? My goal is to let you know that you can prepare. You don't have to panic. You can prepare for some of these things. Now, if it really gets bad, we're all going to be in it together, right? Well, right. And, trust up there. Trust him. He knows what's going on, and it doesn't mean that bad things aren't going to happen, but he's going to make ways for us. He's going to part ways for us so that we can make it through. I love you guys. Please subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. And go to minivanlee.com for products, net gaiters. It's nice and cool right now because I've got mine dampened up. Yeah. And for more lists, the book, How to Live in a Minivan, but that includes SUVs, RVs, whatever. All kinds of lists on there too. So till tomorrow, everybody. I love you guys. Bye.
What's so funny?
I just wanted to call you.
Well, I want to make you aware of something.
Oh, good. What?
Your lips don't match your words. Your audio. Can you imagine that?
No.
Well, that worked. So why'd you call me?
I was just there, and I was not like, why is that there? And I thought, I'm going to press the button. Start a phone. I don't know why it was, but start a phone call. Okay, I finished. What?
I don't know that we've ever done a signal phone call before.
I don't know. Yeah, it seems like we did Face talk or something?
Yeah, right. Yeah, whatever that is. It's nice talking to you. Thanks for calling.
I know. See, this way we could leave it on. That way we can do things and it's like we're sitting in the same van.
Well, that's true.
Oh, I have 2 phones. You don't.
Oh, yeah, you couldn't do anything, or I couldn't do anything else while I'm talking.
What would you want to do other than watching me?
Well, nothing, of course. Absolutely nothing.
Good answer.